What's happening, guys? Jester Radio. Bit of an unorthodox podcast today. It's going to be a free-flowing conversation almost. Kind of just... I got a guest on here who actually sent me a DM, which was pretty sick, and asking advice in business on marketing in terms of your own personal brand. And I thought maybe it'd be cool for people to be able to learn through a podcast, through me not just replying to you, sitting face to face and being able to chat about it. So, bro, thank you very much. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, how's it, man? My name's Richard Matheson, and I've been I love training as well. Been training basically my whole life.
Continue talking. I just want to check the camera's working.
No, 100%.
Keep going.
100%. Been training my whole life basically, and obviously when you train and you start following like different profiles on Instagram, then different people pop up, and because we were in the same area, come across your profile. So I've managed to I followed you back in probably when I was in grade 9 or maybe grade 8 or whatever. So I've seen you progress with training, and then obviously when you came up with your brand, it was a bit of like a new venture or whatever, because you studied at
Tux.
At Tux, okay. What were you studying?
Human movement science. So okay. I did that, and then through that I kind of, we did, it was very entry level, we did nutrition and we did, sports injuries and stuff. And then I kind of saw, I've got a lot of people that are asking me, for diets and stuff. Yeah. So I kind of used my own experience, and then I went further and also went to try focus. So it kind of through that and through people on Instagram asking questions. Sorry, is your phone, I might just have to put it on the thing there. Yeah, through people asking questions and through people, being interested in how I do things. Yeah. It kind of just built the business from that.
100%, I see. So obviously seeing you grow and seeing how you've developed your brand and stuff, we just wanted to get an idea, because obviously being young and coming out of school and having this vision for where you want to go in your life, often it's quite intimidating to get it going. So just for me personally, because I've also obviously got an idea and a vision for wanting to become successful and to leave a legacy at the end of the day, which is kind of what I value. It's just interesting to understand a bit about how your path, like what path you took, what challenges you faced, and how you overcame it. And then obviously you've still got a way to go, but I just wanted to get a bit of an idea about the mindsets that came with that.
Yeah, well, I definitely think I've got a far way to go. I definitely haven't even believed what I've achieved. I say achieved in quotation marks, because I don't really think I've actually achieved anything, if I'm dead honest. So I think I've achieved 1% of what I actually want to achieve in life. So I want to, however, it doesn't matter in what form, but I want to be successful, and I want to work towards something. It doesn't, it definitely isn't in professional competing, but it's more in terms of business, in terms of value creation, and just helping people, maybe through social media, through job creation, through just trying to inspire. And because I've always seen people online, I'm like, yo, that's inspiring, I want to be like that person. So I've kind of just gone and through what I've done, try to do that for other people.
I see. And you spoke now about you seeing people online and wanting to aspire to be like them. Have you had mentors or people you've kind of looked up to base your principles or to base your whole mindsets around business, around marketing, around brand creation, value creation?
Well, in terms of just a mentor in general, I definitely probably have to say my dad. In terms of business and business ethics, and making sure that everything's done the correct way, make sure that things your taxes are paid regardless of they're not being used properly, but you pay your taxes because that's just what you have to do. So those kind of things, where my dad always taught me, is if something has to be done, it has to be done, and it has to be done correctly. So in terms of an online presence that kind of brought me value, and kind of I gleaned what I could from them. I want to say, people like Logan Paul. Okay. In terms of, it's my brand and his brand are completely different. Mine is obviously more fitness orientated, but it was just seeing how hard he worked in terms of creating content, and just seeing how much of it he created. So when I first started out like vlogging, it was watching back now. It's very cringe watching those, those videos that I did and certain things that I was doing in those videos. I'm like, bro, this is just stupid. So but also that's part of the process and it's part of the learning curve. And like now, as I've matured, he's also matured, luckily. So, his brand has completely changed. He's doing the podcast. He's doing, he's creating content that is, informative and it's helping people in their day-to-day life. So also Joe Rogan now more like for my podcast, I've just like his conversational techniques, everything he does, and how he portrays himself on the podcast and the guests that he has, and that's the kind of person that I would like aspire to in terms of like kind of just looking how they do it and learning and taking what will work for me and kind of adjusting it for my own brand.
I see. Yeah, Joe Rogan's podcasts he manages to get through so many different topics.
Exactly.
Just
I mean, he can be smoking a joint with Post Malone and then the next day interviewing a doctor and keeping up like on the same brain level as the doctor.
Or he has Elon Musk on the show and then Elon tries a joint for the first time live. It's crazy. But let's back to the whole business aspect. So you said your dad was your inspiration. So he obviously, was he an entrepreneur or did he have his own business?
So he first started out, he went to the army or whatever after school, and then he worked as like a technician. He worked for like Telcom at a stage, and then he started his own business in a like medical supply company, and he sells like machines and distributes laser hair removal and cellulite reduction machines and everything in like the aesthetic beauty industry. And just seeing how his business has grown, because I think it's about 20 something years old now, and just seeing how it's progressed from him starting from literally nothing to what it is today is it's something that it's always motivated me to say like because I mean his parents were dirt poor, and seeing how much wealth and value and no stress, that's short. So it's just seeing like the value that he's created in terms of like job creation for his staff, in terms of just the ethics that he has in terms of his business and the way he runs his business is obviously just always something that I've really valued and really, aspired to as also having my own businesses.
Sorry, man.
Don't stress, it's fine.
Because I'm kind of working on something similar. Well, not similar, but I'm trying to start like a kind of podcast, but speaking to like inspirational people too. Because I view it like we're all on this journey when you start, right? And I feel like all of us have this untapped potential within us. Like everyone has the ability to achieve anything they want if their mindset and if their dedication and their motivation is there. And I believe that you can tap into that by speaking to people that are on the same course, and 100%. Then obviously you use them as like a rebounder. Like for instance with you, I wanted to come here to chat to you about that because I feel like I can gain a lot of knowledge and insights because of how you've jumped from going out of school, going into varsity and being like, okay, what I went into maybe necessarily wasn't 100% what my passion is, and then you adjusted your life and took that leap of faith into starting your own thing. And I feel like a lot of people have that limitation on them where they're too worried to take that next jump.
And I think that's the biggest thing in terms of business and in terms of being successful is there's going to be massive risks, and there's going to be things that if it does fail, the setbacks are going to be, there's going to be drastic, the failure, and it's going to affect you drastically, but also, the positivity from it if it is successful. And if you work towards it being successful, I mean, just talking to friends of mine, they're saying, they have to go to work tomorrow. Oh, I hate that my boss says this. I hate this and that. And I'm sitting there like, I don't care that I have to go to work tomorrow. I work today the same amount as I'm going to work tomorrow. Today's a Sunday. I don't care because I enjoy what I'm doing and I really love, just growing and developing my own businesses because I started it.
Yes.
And, they working for someone else, and hopefully, they can create something of their own once they've kind of learned for themselves.
Exactly. And I feel like having someone like you as their friend, or having someone like you to look up to, they can start understanding, okay, the limitation is just in my head. It's just the mindset that's in my head. And being able to understand the different tactics that you've used to keep yourself motivated and to keep yourself focused. I just think that adds so much value to people. that have that like we said, that limited mindset because of how they were raised, or because of how society has depicted life should be. So let's talk about adversities. So obviously when you start your own brand or your own company or whatever it is you're doing, when you're just starting out, especially being as young as you were when you started, there has to have been some form of adversity somewhere down the line. Do you want to talk a bit on that?
To be honest, I've been very fortunate to not suffer any term, like even now with coronavirus, I've been able to make sure and, think differently to be able to, break even, if not, be profitable at the end of the month, even in like the toughest financial times. So I think the biggest adversity wouldn't be an adversity, it would be just more of like a limitation.
Okay.
So when I first started out, with the training and everything, this was before I had my marketing company. So this was in second year varsity, so I think it was 2017. So 2017, I first started getting clients, and I was doing amazing, and I was doing really, really, really well. Then my followers weren't growing as much as the clients I was getting. So it kind of like, there's a tipping point where my clients started going down because my followers weren't going up again.
Oh, okay.
And you can't, like the amount of people signing up, and most of them maybe like just wanted to try a once-off plan, or most of them at the time, my audience was very young. My audience couldn't afford it. Their parents, they would say, no, my mom's not going to pay for that. My dad's not going to pay for that. I don't have the money for myself. So the limitation of, trying to market to an audience that could actually afford it. And then, so it went down, and my, the monthly income went down, and the amount of clients I was getting went down. Didn't go down terribly. So then I thought, I need to establish something, because I can't be reliant on one source of income. I need to, branch out and have many streams of revenue, so that just now 1 month, like I can't train someone, my computer break, obviously, okay, I need it for both, but, something happens and you can't train anyone. Now, I'm not going to be...
Like coronavirus.
Exactly.
If someone doesn't have access to a gym, and now they can't.
So people are like, no, I don't want a home workout. Sorry, JC, not going to be your clients anymore. So let's say I lose all my income from training. That's why I started the second business, just in case, and also because it had, there was a decline in sales. So I let me start something else up. So I started that up, and they were kind of level, so it was nice because I was earning more than what I was with just training, but I wasn't earning, double what I was when I was doing super well. So I was kind of trying to build up the media company, and then the media company started doing better than the training, and then it was kind of trying to work on both aspects, so that one didn't suffer while the other one, grew. So the biggest reason why I started the media company was because you're working with corporate clients. You're working with people that sign a 3-month contract. They can't back out of it.
It's a business.
Exactly. So it's nice to work with a company that is a company, registered company, not an individual. Whereas that's the limitation with online training is, even if there's a contract, someone says after 2 months, bro, I don't want to continue. Like, I'm not going to fight it.
No, 100%.
Because
you can't force them to
with
stay
a corporate company, like, you've got a signed contract, and that's for 3 or 6 months, that's guaranteed income.
Yeah, that's a smart way of looking at it, to try and kind of diversify into different industries and to try and protect your own interest, which makes a lot of sense. What does your media company actually do in terms of with the corporates? Like, what is it about? Because I've seen a lot of your fitness side and your personal training, and obviously the podcast and Just the Radio has become. It's very interesting to watch all the different people you get on. Yeah. But the media company, do you want to chat a bit more about that?
So that is basically handling companies' social media accounts and handling, their marketing schemes and their marketing, how they want to roll out their marketing and how they want to portray themselves, the specials that they have if they are a shop, it's basically just online marketing through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So it's also content creation. So for an example, like if I do like a salon, a beauty salon, I would, do videos for them. I would create every single day's post on Instagram, on Facebook. I would, get told, we've got X, Y, and Z on special this month. Please make sure you highlight them. And then it's up to me to design the post, create the content, and, roll out the content and get them more followers through the correct hashtagging, through the correct locations, answer DMs if people, send the page a message, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so you run the account for them. Okay, it's nice because it's kind of completely separate from
Yeah.
the fitness industry, so it acts
And
independent.
honestly, I love doing that. It's far, I far more enjoy that than creating plans. I love helping people become healthier, but I don't enjoy sitting making plans.
Okay,
You know
I
what I
see.
mean? But I like the creativity of being able to create a post, be able to highlight certain things, and to, make sure that if you look at a post, your eyes are drawn to a particular part first. Like that, the thought processes that go into making
They're
posts.
going to make it. Okay, cool. I understand that. But again, you only find that out by experiencing it. And
Yeah.
and it's that whole mindset of not limiting yourself to being like, okay, these companies don't know me. Maybe they see my fitness side and they see how many followers I have, but they don't know how good I am with marketing and with posts.
That's
so
exactly what I
obviously
did.
had to
bro.
market yourself to them.
Yeah, I had nothing, and I just went to them. I said, "This is what I'm doing. I have learned through my own social media, and also I studied a little bit of business. So I studied business at varsity as a subject.
Okay.
So this is what I will do for you, and this is X, Y, and Z is my deliverables for you. This is what you would pay me. If you are not happy after the first month, stop. That's fine." And I haven't ever had a client that stopped since.
It's about that people think they can't do it until they actually ask, or they actually go to people and they're surprised that people are actually willing to take a chance on you. Or if you can market yourself and your brand well enough, then you're able to get the clients and stuff.
Yeah.
And now moving into the fitness industry and into personal training. So I actually worked in a gym for about 2 years ago. It's the one just down the road. I don't know if you know, it's there by the Picana Center. It's called Just Physical Gym.
Okay, yes.
Just down the road. So I worked there for a bit. So I got to meet a couple of really top quality personal trainers like Quinton Fong. He's won like 5 IFBB pros. Lee Binks, I don't know if you've heard of her.
Yeah.
She just got married now. Actually, I actually introduced her to her.
Her husband went to my school, I think.
Kevin.
Yes,
I actually worked with him as well
Okay.
at Chrome for a bit when I did supplement promotions. But,
Okay.
chatting to them, the industry is competitive and it's cutthroat. And even like when you train at Virgin Active and you chat to some of the personal trainers there's a lot of competition, and a lot of those established personal trainers within those gyms have a bad negative kind of attitude and a lot of negative things to say about online coaches and about people that are trying to train people in a more, I want to say, efficient way, but in a different way. That's different to actually renting at a gym, because that's a
more cost-effective way.
There we go, most cost-effective way. So how have you dealt with? Have you gotten any negative aspects of that? How do you deal with it?
Nothing to my face, bro. The only negative stuff I'll get is maybe not from people in the industry, but like people will be like, I don't like the vein on there, like a comment on Instagram
Okay,
so I've never dealt with knowingly. I've never interacted with someone that had that disregarded me because I was just an online coach and I was almost taking clients away from them in the gym.
So have you ever struggled to get clients, or have you?
I've been very fortunate to always every month be able to get clients. Like sometimes I'm like, but surely I've run out of people to keep getting clients. How is there more people? That's also what's good is it's word of mouth. It's not just through my social media now. It's because also my demographics have changed, my age groups the brackets have changed. So when I first started out with personal training, it was 16 to 21.
I guess the
max.
younger.
That's like the majority. Now it's 25 to 35.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I've opened myself up to a higher earning bracket of people, and people that kind of also used to look good, and now they need to get it back because maybe their wife, they don't want their wife to lose interest in them. They want to, because you're losing after 25, bro. You're just going downhill, actually.
100%.
So you need to work harder, and in working harder and getting more motivation, you get a coach.
And to be honest, those clients in the older age group will be the more reliable clients, the ones that will continue with you if they see results.
Yeah.
Because obviously they establish they've got jobs, they can pay whatever. Whereas 16 to 21, maybe it's just like a guy trying to get DAC for VAC or whatever, and he's trying to just get a plan or two.
The amount of times I had someone that was like, I can pay you 500 Rand this week, and then I'll pay you the rest in 2 weeks' time when I get the rest of my allowance. Like, it's frustrating to have to do that, because then you have to like work out the percentage of the plan you're gonna give
100%.
them. And you'd rather just say, bro, just wait till the end of the month, then save your money, and then the end of the month comes, you're like, oh, I blew my money on the weekend drinking. You know, like it's those kind of people, and it's frustrating to have to deal with that.
Nah, 100%.
But
it's
also,
not good for business either.
It's fine, but it's fine because they're there, and then there's the people that are willing to pay. So I will happily, be patient with the people that maybe need more time to be able to pay, because even if they don't save up now, eventually, you just, you be nice to them, you be patient, and eventually maybe they'll be a client. So that's the biggest thing is, no matter how irritating or frustrating or ridiculous someone seems, you kind of just have to pretend like it doesn't bother you, because who knows? And even if it's a year time, they could be a client.
And that's quite a profound statement as well. It's just genuinely being not concerned about, well, I guess it's an aspect of being concerned, but just wanting to create value in people's lives, regardless of who they are. Just having that in the back of your head, even if it feels like they don't want to properly contribute, but they want to get the plan. Just having that value added. And how do you, where do you attribute that in your, throughout your life? So I know you said your dad impacted you a bit, but in school, have you always known you were gonna
I was the worst student. I couldn't concentrate. I didn't get terrible marks, but average 60s, but also I did no work. So that was the issue. I was a very late bloomer. So physically I was probably grade 8 and stuff. I started developing, so I was fine in terms of physical development. But I think mental development and just emotional development, I wasn't emotionally mature enough to just be like, okay, well, this work needs to be done. It needs to be done properly, and I want to be successful, so I need to work hard at school. I didn't have any of those thought processes. It was kind of just, well, school sucks, I don't want to do it. So it's never been something that I looked at myself like, Jesse, you need to work hard now in school to be successful later. It was kind of like, I hate school, I don't care about working now, I'll work later.
Yeah, school is a time for rugby.
Exactly. That's all I cared about. It was just sport, having fun with my friends, and I didn't really care
training,
about
100%. So you have you used any kind of, obviously you used the a bit to get into varsity, but if you have to look back at school, do you think if you purely focused on aspects that you need now, more soft aspects in terms of people management, in terms of focusing on value addition, entrepreneurship, that type of stuff, if you focused on that back then, do you think you could have progressed a lot faster?
I think I'm happy, honestly, I'm happy that I never, because I'm not saying I'm far or I'm very successful today, but where I am today, it probably wouldn't. Everything happens for a reason, 100%. And all your experiences and things that you go through are there molding you into the person you're going to become. And I mean, I might not have met my fiance if I was different. I might not have got into fitness. I mean, if I focused more on school, I might have been worse at rugby. I might have not cared about as much about rugby, and then I would be a completely different person.
I get you. So it's about all those experiences in your life.
And I mean, I loved school, even though I did terribly. I loved school and I enjoyed it. So I wouldn't change that.
It's a part of your life, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear a lot of entrepreneurs, for instance, Gary Vaynerchuk, or
I got two of his books over there.
Where on
the shelf?
Which ones is that?
There's it's around the corner.
Ask Gary V. I see.
Yes,
have you read his book Crushing It?
Yes, I've got the one Crushing It as well.
Really, I'll actually listen to the audio every morning when I went to gym. I would listen to that. I didn't listen to that's what I do when I train. I listen to podcasts or audio books.
So why I started podcasts is you started to be able to help and inspire and motivate people and educate people, and that's what all I want to do is just to be able to create value, and just when I listen to podcasts, when I watch podcasts, I enjoy it and I gain so much from it. I mean, the amount of times I've referenced the podcast, I learned this from a podcast, or I was listening to a podcast and they said this and this, and it can tie into many, instances in life that can relate to that podcast and relate to the knowledge that you gain from it.